Hey everybody, how you doing? Tekking101 here, and in today's video, I would like to give a very warm welcome to a brand new character that's going to be staying with us for a while, okay? Don't worry, Barry, your position is perfectly secure, no one is replacing you, you're under contract. But introducing my new haircut. Oh yeah, check out that new haircut, yeah. I love how even if it's trimmed back, you still got little poofiness here, because that's just the curse of my head. Alright, so we'll be getting used to that. But today's video, we're going to be doing One Piece Google Autocomplete Part 2! Yeah, had a lot of positive feedback from the last one, so thanks to everybody that commented and rated there. It was something new, it was something different. I had a lot of fun making that video, mostly just because it provided me the opportunity to tackle a bunch of One Piece related topics in a single video, sort of like a lightning round sort of deal. So, last time we talked about Luffy, Kaido, Shanks, and Whitebeard, so logic would dictate that I would continue on with the Yonko in this part and talk about Big Mom and Blackbeard, but see, the thing there is that would make way too much sense. So, we'll probably tackle the rest of the Yonko later, but in today's video we're going to be looking at the Straw Hats, and not even all of the Straw Hats, so we'll be doing that. Spoiler alert, Nami and Robin are included. I know a lot of people's like, whoa, you're not including all the Straw Hats? Which Straw Hats are you? Okay, Nami and Robin. Okay, thank God. Alright. But before we get to that, though, I went to Google, because I was just curious. I went to Google, and I just typed in, One Piece is. Just to kind of get a baseline here, like a generic One Piece search, alright? So we'll be starting off with that today. Let's dive right into it here, if I can get this folder open. Manila folders, more secure than Fort Knox. Okay, here we go. Google One Piece is trash. Okay, look. I'm not a fan of Foxy either, okay? When you get to the Davy back fight and Foxy shows up, I admit, that's the low point of the entire One Piece manga. It comes crashing down like a ton of bricks, okay? But to judge an entire series that's lasted for more than 20 years, based off of just one character, that's kinda unfair, you know what I mean? Alright, so yeah. First result, One Piece is trash, followed by the second result, One Piece is overrated. Alright, so let's talk about this. I think there are lessons to be, heard here, okay? So first off, something to keep in mind is that just because something is really, really popular in the world, it doesn't mean that you have to like it. It doesn't mean that you have to feel like you have to, and if you don't like it, then, there's something wrong with you. Alright, like, there's plenty of things that are really popular in the world that I don't like just in terms of, like, the world of manga. I'm not a big fan on sports manga. I've tried to read them a few times, that's not really my cup of tea. I'm just not into them, and that's fine. So Haikyuu, which is a really popular volleyball manga that's right now in Shonen Jump, everyone tells me, oh, you need to read Haikyuu, it's really good. I tried to read it, it's just not the kind of series I get into, and there's a few other sports mangas I've attempted throughout the years, and just not my thing, okay? Now, there's some manga that I read, in fact, there's a lot of manga, like Slice of Life, that includes, like, sports in the background, like, there was one Slice of Life I remember reading where tennis played a big role in the background, characters would play tennis, but the whole series was not based on that, it's just, every once in a while, the characters would be playing tennis, and that's it. So that's just not my thing, so One Piece, I could see that being the same thing for a lot of people, like, just like, oh, One Piece is really, really popular, and you try to read it, and it doesn't click with you, maybe you don't like the characters, or the way that, Oda structures the plot. I wouldn't say that, like, that's wrong, you need to like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Same thing with reading a book. My rule of thumb when I read a book is if it really doesn't, suck me in by, like, 50 or so pages in, I put down the book. I'm like, alright, that 50 pages was a struggle to get through. The author really can't get me there, so that's probably just not my thing, right? So, that's one thing I would say about that. But then I would also add to that, and I would say that whenever you have things in this world, especially media, things that are entertainment or comedic or whatever, that are really, really popular. Like, let's just use movies, for example. Like, oh my god, there's this big movie that's out in the theater right now. You have to go see it. I've seen it like 3 times. It's the most amazing movie ever. It's breaking box office records. All the critics love it. Everybody loves it. You need to go see the movie now. I feel like, and I know we've all kind of, like, known people that have done this. We might have even been the kind of people that have done this. But just because it's, like, this super, super popular thing that everybody's raving about and everybody loves, you might go into it being very critical. Like it's like on you to prove that it's not that good, right? I think we've all known people like that. Or like, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna nitpick everything in this video, or I nitpick everything in this movie. Just like it opens up and there's a mountain, like, oh, this is ridiculous, so there's people like that too that will definitely like look at things that are just really popular and just try to nitpick it and tear it apart. That certainly happens, right? But in this instance, like, hey, it's the most popular manga in the world. There's millions and millions of people that love One Piece, me included, right? But if you don't like it, it's fine. It's cool. It's just not for you, all right? That's just how it goes, right? All right. So, there you go. Third result, One Piece is real! It is, and I'm really glad that that was the result, The One Piece is real! That's, of course, the quote that Whitebeard gave at the end of Marineford, reigniting the Great Pirate Era. Like, oh, okay, Whitebeard confirmed its existence, so it's definitely real. Yes, and One Piece, I wonder, though, are they Googling, like, wait, is the One Piece, like, the treasure actually real? Like, is there a treasure out there somewhere in the world? And in fact, the whole basis of this, I believe it was Olivier Levasseur, and I'm probably butchering the pronunciation there, but that was the pirate that, at his execution, I believe he had like a necklace or something, and he threw the necklace into the crowd upon his execution right before he died, and in the necklace there was that cipher, and to this day, no one has deciphered that cipher. And apparently, like, yeah, his treasure will be at a location marked in the cipher if anyone can crack the code. No one has cracked the code. If you want to give it a shot, here you go. But, this has been attempted to look at for hundreds of years, and no one has managed to, successfully crack the whole thing, so yeah. But, in that case, yeah, and, to bring it to a next level, not even with this particular treasure, but yeah, somewhere out there in the world, there might be pirate treasure that has yet to be discovered. There might have been a pirate that lived, 300 years ago, 400 years ago, and he, was sailing the Pacific, and he went to an island out in the middle of nowhere that nobody even goes to, uninhabited. He went into the island and he buried his treasure. And right now on that island, buried, under a bunch of sand and dirt, there's like a bunch of gold doubloons or Krugerrands. Probably somewhere in the world that's actually the case, okay? So, yeah, I guess you want to call that the One Piece? Go for it, sure. One Piece is ending. I mean, eventually, in about, 50 years or so. Like, after Oda is, he's gonna, become a cyborg, of course, right? I mean, we've already confirmed that's gonna happen, and he'll continue to write for many decades, even after his natural life expires. No, Oda and his editors, they always come out sometimes. Usually it's the editors that come out with, One Piece is this percentage of the way done. I believe the last time we heard about this was Oda said something like 5 years, and this was back, in 2018, 2019. So the general consensus right now seems to be somewhere around 2023 to 2025. That seems to be the general idea that a lot of people are pointing to. It could be less than that. It could be a little more than that. I personally don't think it would be much more than that. I would say 2023, 2024 is, the moment where I think that Oda would end it, but that's just my opinion there. But yeah, eventually it will be ending. After Wano, we're pretty much going to go, I think, into the last saga of the story. We're going to have a few more story arcs after Wano, of course, a few more things that need to be handled, but, no other big story arcs, in between, all right, we're gonna have, the Wano saga, but then we're gonna have the Elbaf saga, that's gonna be another 300 chapters, and then we're gonna have the final saga. I don't think we're gonna have anything like that. It's gonna be, it's just gonna be one more saga after this. One Piece is crazy good this week. Well, that can change depending on the week. If this was chapter 957, woo! Yeah, that was the one where we found out all of the Yonko bounties. So, yeah, I guess that would be a crazy good week for One Piece. Last week of One Piece, I liked it. It introduced, the whole thing with Kyoshiro being Denjiro. So that was interesting. The whole thing with Toki was cool. I wouldn't give it the status of, crazy good. There needs to be a One Piece scale. There needs to be, a crazy good, epic good, and then it just goes down to just it's alright, good, adequate. There needs to be a scale we need to create. In fact, I'm going to get on that. I'm going to create the One Piece rating scale so we can give each chapter of every week a specific rating. Alright, we'll get on that, alright? One Piece, is Sabo dead? No, he is in fact alive. We find this out in the Dressrosa arc, which was many years ago, so I feel like this isn't spoilers at this point. Sabo was thought to have died in the flashback with Luffy and Ace and Sabo in the Grey Terminal. Dragon found him, brought him back to the Revolutionary Army headquarters. He was raised as a Revolutionary Army soldier. He is now the chief of staff of the Revolutionary Army, known as the Number 2. The reason he did not get involved with pretty much anything in pre-time skip One Piece was because he had amnesia, and after Ace's death, he remembered everything, and now he's, helping out the Straw Hats as much as he can. Honestly, Sabo has more appearances in, OVAs and movies as, cameo appearances, but he has appeared in Dressrosa, and he did appear in the Reverie arc. It's just he's not really connected to Luffy in that regard. He's out there in the world doing the Revolutionary Army's thing, he's doing other stuff, okay? But he's not a pirate, but yes, he is still alive. One Piece, is Oden alive? I can see why that would be a very well-searched, thing, considering that Oden, all the stuff he went through, you start to question, is there anything that could have killed him? And no, though. He is dead from what we found out in one of the most recent chapters. Although, once again, I am curious, the man that had the skin that was tough enough to endure, boiling oil for an hour that was raised to insane temperatures, he was killed by a gunshot. You figure the bullets would just bounce off his skin like, boom, or a boom, his forehead, his brow furrows just grab the bullet and just fire it back at Kaido. But no, he is in fact dead, as we found out from about 2 chapters ago. One Piece is amazing! Yeah, I would say it is. I would certainly say it is. All right. One Piece is Bullet canon. Douglas Bullet from the movie Stampede. Yes, he is canon. It's just that we haven't really seen him in the manga yet. He was a member of Roger's crew for a little while. He left, so that probably explains why the reason we don't see Bullet in the background of, Whitebeard and Roger and Odin's flashback, where we see them on that island. We don't see Bullet in Roger's group. We don't see Bullet when Odin is traveling along with Roger. So it's still canon. It's just he joined the crew for a little while, really strong dude, and then he left before Odin joined for the last journey to Laugh Tale. Bullet was not there for that. But yeah, so far from what we understand, he's kind of like a Shiki situation. Bullet should be canon. I have no idea if Oda will ever include him in the story. The same way he's going to include Shiki and everybody that's been interested, been shown to be members of Rox's crew. But yeah, from what we understand so far, I would consider Bullet canon. And One Piece is better than Naruto. Once again, that's something that's a matter of opinion. There's no, scholars here. There are scientists in the lab right now at CERN trying to figure out, objectively, is One Piece better than Naruto? They're, swirling glasses and doing chemistry and doing a bunch of really complex mathematical equations. We need to crack this nut, But no, that's a matter of opinion. For me, I really enjoyed both. Naruto, when I was a kid, I was super way into Naruto. Near the end of the arc, the last arc of Naruto, I just started to lose, my passion in the story. By the time we got to the final battle between Naruto and Sasuke, and, the final battle even with Kaguya, I was just kind of eh. Probably the last moment in Naruto I felt real big hype for on a weekly basis, where I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see what happened next week, was when Naruto fought Pain. That was the moment where I was like, ah! And he was going 6 tails and 8 tails, and the 4th Hokage shows up, and I'm like, oh my god! That was the last moment where I felt a genuine level of hype. Now, even after that, it's not like I didn't have any moments for hype in the story. It didn't go straight downhill from there, but, if that was the high point for Naruto for me, it just kind of was and then we get to the end there. I remember when Kakashi went into his Susanoo, which should have been an amazing moment, Kakashi getting a Susanoo, final battle with Kaguya, and I remember reading that chapter and just being oh, Kakashi got Susanoo. Okay, that's whatever. I don't know. Maybe you could argue the level of battles scaled up way too fast in Naruto. Maybe that's an argument you can make, especially since the beginning of Naruto we have those really basic ninja skills and smoke bombs and kunai knives and tying exploding tags to it and stuff. And at the end of the story we have literally battles of godly characters summoning giants made out of chakra, mastering tailed beasts, Bijudams that could obliterate mountains, the 10 tails that could destroy the world, Kaguya's extra dimensional shit, all that extra stuff there. maybe you could say, this isn't the story I fell in love with. It changed too much. I don't know, but that's, I would say right now, yeah, I like One Piece more, but that's once again a matter of opinion. All right, so that's the One Piece is questions. Now let's move on to the Straw Hat questions. All right, so this will be Noah, not Rora Noah. Okay, I had to type that in because Zoro, just typing in Zoro is, you get Zoro, the movie character, so I had to do Noah. All right, Zoro is from Wano. That is a very popular theory. Many people think at least his lineage is from Wano, if not his parents are like directly from Wano, or he was not necessarily born in Wano and ended up in the East, but his lineage, like Ryuma and Ushimaru, Shimosuke, they look a lot like Zoro does now, so it seems like he probably does have some lineage that stretches back to Wano. And of course, he's Zoro, he's like a samurai, so yeah, I would say. There's probably going to be... Oda! The way that he's talking about this in SBS is like there's that connection between the East Blue and the Shimosuke village and Koshiro's dojo and Zoro and Wano. There's like, that all kind of ties back together. I think the way that Oda might do this is he might like mention it offhandedly. They're like, yeah, Zoro is distantly related to the Shimosuke clan, and the Shimosuke clan originates from Wano, but he himself was not born in Wano. His parents were not born in Wano, but his lineage does stretch back to that. I think it's going to be probably something like that, and I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I don't think Oda's going to make that big of a huge thing about it like Sanji's backstory was with the Germa and everything. I think Oda's just going to bring it up like, yeah, he's distantly related to the Shimosuke, and that's going to be it. How old is Zoro? Pre-time skip, 19. Current, he is 21 years old. How strong is Zoro? Strong enough to slice an entire mountain, because that's what he did with Pika. I believe right now at this moment, that would be Zoro's, like, biggest feat. In the movie Stampede, though, he attempted to slice an entire meteor, and he succeeded, but Mihawk kind of had to pick up the slack and slice it up so it didn't, like, the rubble from the meteor did not destroy the entire island. But Zoro was still able to slice a meteor, but in the canon of the story right now, in the manga, he sliced a mountain apart, which was Pika, with his Ichi Dai Sansen Dai Sensukya! And, yeah, that's a pretty good feat. So, take that what you will. Who is Roronoa Zoro love interest? Well, Zoro, he doesn't fall in love with... He falls in love with swords. His love interest is his sword. But take your pick, Tashigi seems to be implied there, Right now, it seems to be Hiyori. Hiyori seems to, really love Zoro's sword, and how could you not, really? But yeah, Zoro's had a few love interests throughout the story. Yeah, I don't think he reciprocates anything, but, yeah. How tall is Zoro? You got me. I actually don't pay attention too much to One Piece heights. Those are the numbers that don't really stick to my head, but, catch you back here in 4 seconds, and I'll tell you. 1, 2, 3. 178 centimeters pre-time skip, 181 centimeters post-time skip. That would make him right now around 5 foot 11 inches. Something like that. So, a lot taller than I am. I'm only 5'5" and a half. So Zoro, not one of the tallest characters in the story, but, average height, I would say, for an adult male. I would go with that. Probably around 6 feet, getting up there, maybe a little bit above average. Where is Roronoa Zoro right now? We actually do not know where he's at right now because we're in a flashback and we cut through time a little bit. We're kind of focusing on the scabbards in the present storyline with them arriving at the Tokage port. But I would assume Zoro, if he didn't leave yet, or he's still around Amagasa village in Wano Kuni, waiting for the rebellion to begin training with his Enma sword. How fast is Roronoa Zoro? So this is interesting. Oda actually did answer this question in SBS. Somebody asked him, like, in a foot race, who would be the fastest Straw Hat? I believe Oda ranked Brook as the fastest because he's a skeleton. He's really light. He doesn't have skin or muscle to weigh him down. Yo-ho-ho! So he's the fastest in terms of, like, a straight foot race. But keep in mind, though, what Oda was intending here was, like, a simple, friendly foot race starting at point A, ending at point B. So just running in a straight line. And already, I think you could see the problem here with Zoro. Zoro actually ranks really low here. I think it goes Brook, then Sanji, because his legs, and then Luffy, Chopper, because of Walk Point, and then I think Zoro. Like, Zoro ranks, like, really behind, Sanji and stuff, and then Frankie ranks the lowest because he's so top-heavy, right? But I think Oda also included in that SBS, and it's been a while since I've read it, but I think he also included that Zoro would be ranked higher, but because he's he's horrible at directions, point A to point B, he would end up like, before he somehow, maybe, hopefully, ended up back on the track. So, that's Oda, I think, just being funny. But considering the fact that, yeah, Zoro does train, he does not skip leg day. He lifts weights with his legs sometimes. He'll do, like, handstands and lift weights with his feet. He doesn't skip leg day, but Sanji's whole thing is, his training with his legs, his Blackfoot style and all that stuff. So I'm going to assume that Sanji is faster than Zoro in a straight-up run. Okay, that would just be my personal preference there. Who is Roronoa Zoro based on? Well, Oda's a big fan of old school samurai movies, so, probably there's a bunch of references taken from there. But Zoro himself, Zoro, like the masked man, who was actually the precursor to Batman. I did a whole video about that, talking about the connections between Zoro and, Zoro, like, I am the blade of Zoro, the very suave, masked individual, and Zoro that we see right now in One Piece. So I'd recommend you go check out that video there, where I really delve into that, but it's a very interesting character in terms of, like, the stories about him and the cinema that he's been in, and how he inspired Batman eventually. He, like Zoro had, like, a secret cave in his mansion. He was, like, a rich guy that fought crime on the sidelines, that was kind of very Batman-esque, okay, and that all started back in, like, the beginnings of the 20th century, right? So that's very interesting there. Is Roronoa Zoro dead? Not as of time of recording, no. What is Roronoa Zoro's first name? Well, okay, so in One Piece, the way that we're doing this is it's flipped. So it's Monkey D. Luffy, because in Japanese, your surname is first. So Luffy's, if it was in English or in America, Luffy's name would be Luffy D. Monkey, which just sounds really weird. But Monkey is his family name. So in the case with Zoro, he would be Zoro Wano. So Zoro would be his first name. Don't know where the Wano comes from in terms of, like, the actual context of One Piece, where that comes from. But yeah, that's his first name, is Zoro. Or Zolo, if you're reading the 4Kids translation. Alright, so moving on to Nami. Nami questions. Nami is broken. I'll admit, that climb attack, ridiculously OP. Now that she has Zeus, even more so. Nami is weak against, was this, like, Pokemon, or, like, type advantage? Is this, like, Mega Man? I think Nami has the advantage against Hardman. If you pick Nami, if you defeat Nami and get her Nami Buster, and then you go up against, Hardman, I think you'll be fine. But no, Nami is weak against pretty much any character that can get a solid hit out on her. Nami is very glass cannony. She does have a lot of power with her climb attack, but if, like, any solid hit, like if Crackers, Cracker Biscuit soldiers, like, slice Nami, she's gonna go down, alright? She's not just gonna get back up after that. I mean, she works out, she's very athletic, but, she doesn't have, like, hockey or a lot of defensive skills like a lot of the other Straw Hats do. Like, for example, like, if Zoro were to get stabbed in the gut, which that's actually happened a few times in the story, Zoro could be like, get back up. He's like, you think this is gonna stop me? Nami gets stabbed in the gut. I think she's gonna go down and not move, I think she'll be, Chopper will be able to patch her back up, but she won't be able to continue the fight after that, I don't think so. Nami is very good at research. I guess she would be. Nami is a bad character. Nami is Vistani. Wait, is this the same Nami, or is this a different Nami? Nami is dead. Nami is so useless. Nami is from which state? Okay, so to be 100% clarity, apparently I did some research into this. There's apparently a character in League of Legends that's like a mermaid, okay, who's also named Nami. So I believe some of these questions got mixed in with that. I just thought it would be funny to include them and see how many people would, like, comment below. That's the Nami from League of Legends! I've never played League of Legends. Something else, not really that into. Alright, but no. Alright, so, not Nami from League of Legends, and also Nami is a more common, like, there's other fictional characters I've known throughout anime and video games that have the name of Nami, okay? So, One Piece Nami outfits. She does tend to change her outfits quite a bit. Luffy's outfit never really changes. Usually pre-time skip, he'll just switch out a different colored vest. But that's one thing I do like about One Piece is that Oda constantly changes the Straw Hat's attire. You know, he'll always be like, all right, this is your outfit for this arc, you know, this distinctive outfit for this arc. Or sometimes even with Nami especially, and Robin as well, he'll change the outfits multiple times throughout the arc. Like Nami, when she starts the Totland arc, she has her normal outfit. Then when she gets to Chocolate Town, she has like the pretzel girl outfit, and then that outfit gets destroyed. Then she runs around in a really baggy, like, you know, overalls for a little while, and then when she goes to Beiji's place, she gets this really fancy evening dress, and then when she's on the Sunny for the final battle, like escaping the Big Mom crew, she switches into like a sweater kind of deal. And so that's Nami. I like that Oda pays it enough mind to be like, okay, Nami is a character that doesn't like to run around in old ragged clothing if she could help it. Like if her clothing gets wet or gets damaged, you know, one of her first things is like, I'm gonna go change, you know? All right, we escape from Big Mom's crew. We have a little while to, you know, be okay while we're like escaping Totland. I am gonna go to my room. I'm gonna take a quick shower, get changed, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna be okay. All right, that's Nami's character, right? And it's like, hey, I don't like being in like destroyed clothing too. I'd be like, all right, give me a second. I'm gonna go change out. I'm gonna put a new shirt on. Okay, this one's ripped and covered with sticky goo. Yeah, sticky goo from the cream and the candy of Totland. All right, yes. But Nami does have a lot of outfits. And then you get to post-time skip where a lot of times she's just running around in a different bikini top, okay, depending on the weather. One Piece, Nami and Luffy. I did a video about this, the One Piece Luffy and Nami fanfiction. It gets steamy, lemony good. One Piece Nami figurine. I own a few, and there are a lot of out there. So yeah, fans send me some sexy Nami figurines, and I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, Nami figurines. Like I said before in the Nami video when I did her Straw Hat discussion, like Nami literally creates her own fortune because she is one of the most marketable, if not, like, let's just be straight up, the most marketable character in all of One Piece. You know, I remember reading like a few articles actually that were like the sexiest women in all of manga and anime, and Nami was number one more than once on these lists. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people love Nami. They love Nami merch. It permeates all the cultures, even in, you know, America here. Whenever I go to conventions and stuff, probably even more so in Japan, I would imagine. I imagine there's a lot of sexy Nami merchandise scattered all over Japan, hence just another reason why I need to make a pilgrimage there someday. One Piece Nami tattoo. Yes, so she had this tattoo, her Arlong tattoo for the Arlong crew, and then after the events of Arlong Park, she decided she got it removed, but she was just like, you know what, I don't want it to just get removed, I want it to be something else, and so she got the tattoo changed to a pinwheel in honor of Genzo, and also a tangerine to represent Nochiko and Belmere. So yeah, that's her new tattoo, and I think that tattoo works for her a lot more, and I like it's a very distinctive characteristic for Nami. I really enjoy it. One Piece Nami death. No, once again, at time of recording, she is still alive. One Piece Nami full name. We do not know. Out of all of the Straw Hats, we know Luffy, Zoro's, Frankie's full name, Cuddy Flam. We don't know Brooke's full name. Nico Robin, we know her full name. Hairlook was the one that named Chopper, Tony Chopper. That's his full name. Sanji Vinsmoke, something we just found out in Totland. Usopp, we don't know his full name. And yeah, so that's all we got, really, so far. So we still need to know Brooke, and we need to know Usopp and Nami's full names, because we don't know those. And Jinbei as well. Jinbei, I don't know if that's how Fishman culture works, where they give, like, a full... Because we know, like, Kami... Well, we know, like, Horty Jones, he kind of has, like, you know, like a first name and a surname. Jones is kind of like a common name you would find in our world. Like, what's your name? Oh, I'm Mr. Jones. I'm like, oh, okay, that's the major antagonist of the Fishman Island arc, Mr. Jones. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. But yeah, a lot of fishmen we know don't have, you know, full names, really. I guess Neptune's name would be Neptune Ryugu, because it's the Ryugu Kingdom, the Ryugu family. Shirahoshi Ryugu, I guess that would be. So maybe just in Fishman culture, last names are not really a thing too much. Like, some of them have them, but it's not a practice everybody adopts, right? So maybe it's something like that. But yeah, Nami, we don't know her full name. One Piece Nami body pillow. It will surprise you to know that I do not own one of those. One Piece Nami last name, once again, we don't know. One Piece Nami statue. Okay, that's upgrading the figurine. Like, I've collected all the Nami figurines. No, I need a Nami statue. And you just get, like, a life-sized Nami statue. I haven't checked, but I'm pretty damn sure they make them. For enough money, for a certain price, you can get pretty much anything made in statue form, I would imagine. So hey, if you have the money and that's what you want to spend it on, more power to you. And last one, One Piece Nami Wiki, and that just, of course, goes to the wiki page. All right. So now we're going to go to... I have a few other Straw Hats here, but you know what? I think we're going to end it out with Nico Robin. We'll do a second part with the other Straw Hats. We'll tackle the rest of the men of the crew, but come on now. This is me. We got to end this out with Nico Robin, best girl waifu. Right? Right? I mean, that's just only fair. Okay, all right, so here we go. Nico Robin is Luffy's sister. This goes back to the theory that Robin's mom is Dragon. Once again, Ivankov, it could be a thing. Luffy's dad is Dragon, so Dragon has black hair, Robin has black hair. The idea is Robin's dad, whoever it's going to turn out to be, is going to have black hair, because Olvia had white hair, or like silver hair more in the anime. So yeah, it's take your pick. Dragon, Roger, Oden, all of them could have been contenders, right? And that could have necessarily possibly met Olvia at some point in the story. It could have happened. There's a theory out there that does exist. Many of you might be upset by that, like to find out that, you know, Robin is Luffy's half-sister. That'd be like, that's so weird, but I would actually be okay with that. I would be perfectly fine with that, considering they both have connections to the Revolutionary Army. I think that would be a very fun twist. I think that would work. And Luffy is never somebody that really super cares about, like, people that are, like, blood related to him. He cares more about the bonds that he makes with people, right? So, you know, it doesn't matter that Ace and Luffy are not blood related. They're still brothers, okay? And, you know, Luffy and Robin, they have their relationship that they have right now on the crew. If it was, I can imagine, like, Luffy finding out, like, what? Me and Robin are sisters? I mean, brother and sister? Okay. You know, like, that would be like, oh, that's, okay. Weird. Small world, isn't it, Robin? Like, Luffy would not really get that. He's like, what? That's insane! Like, I don't think see Luffy doing that, really. Luffy would just be like, oh, okay, well, whatever. And it's not going to change anything between us. You know, we're still going to act the same way we always acted between each other, right? That's how it would go. For Robin as well. Nico Robin is overpowered. When Oda feels like it's necessary, she is. Because if you think about it, her ability is crazy powerful. She can just grab anything she wants with her powers. She can immobilize people, like, within reason, as long as they're not ridiculously strong. When we first get introduced to Robin as Miss All Sunday, she just, like, steamrolls the Straw Hats, you know, she just, like, you know, knocks them down, no problem. Really, we don't even know what her power is yet, so we're like, whoa, what can she do? Then at Alabasta, she takes out Pell, takes out Tashigi. She just, like, you know, because somebody using a sword, she just, like, grabs the sword and just points it at Tashigi, like, easy. It's nothing for her. You know, and then later on during Jaya, she just, like, grabs the Southbird, like, if I could see it, I can grab it. And that's how it works. But Robin doesn't really get a lot of, you know, crazy. Well, okay, there are a few times, like, during Thriller Bark, when she was about to do the salt thing, like, put the salt in the general zombie's mouth, but the zombie was really strong, so it was able to break her hold. So she's still limited by her physical strength. But that ability can be very useful in a lot of different situations. Just beyond that, she can also create ears and eyes to, like, spy on things. Very, very useful. She's able to clone herself now, essentially. So that's very useful as well in a lot of different situations, not just combat. But yeah, I feel like a lot of times Robin is depicted as, like, maybe weaker than she really should be. I love the scene in Dressrosa when Cavendish is going to, like, to stab Robin, and Bartolomeo's like, Robin, no, you need to leave! And then Robin's like, oh, and then she just grabs Hakuba, like that, and is like, oh, do you want something, Cabbage-kun? Like, it wasn't a big deal for her. It's just like Cavendish is Hakuba is incredibly strong. He could, like, slice things apart. He's mad with his blade, but Robin was able to secure him no problem. And also, with, like, judo techniques and stuff, like, even if your opponent is, like, maybe physically stronger than you, if the right amount of pressure is used and, like, bending the joints back and the right amount of limbs are, like, bending, you know, and contorting the body in a certain way, Robin could, like, secure pretty much anyone, you know, as long as it's not, like, ridiculously powerful, like Douglas Bullet or somebody. But yeah, so it's just like, I'm just gonna bend your body in this weird way, so it doesn't matter how strong you are, you know, if your arm is, like, bent in this way and you can't even move it, like, ow, you know, like, something like that. But yeah, Robin can be very overpowered. Nico Robin is Roger's daughter. I made a video about that. That was the one I immediately latched onto. Yes, Oden might be. That was another idea. Dragon might be. That was another theory that was out there. I latched on to the Roger idea. Looks like that's not the case, because Roger did say to Rayleigh, you know, I'm gonna have a kid, and Rayleigh's like, you don't even have any kids. Or I think Roger said, like, my son will find it, and Rayleigh's like, you don't even have any kids. But it's still possible that Roger could have met Olvia and had a night of passion, and then she got pregnant, and by the time she realized that, Roger was already a world away, and he never even knew he had a daughter. It's possible. Is Nico Robin good? Yes, she is. How dare you even question that? If if it ever turns out that Oda does a twist, and it's like, oh yeah, Robin was evil the whole time, they're like, okay, well, that was a good manga, and I would drop it right there. That was a crappy ending, and even if it's not the ending, I'd be like, that's the ending for me right there. But no, Robin is not bad. She's, of course, a good person. Is Nico Robin stronger than Luffy? No. I mean, there was that one time she was able to make him, like, you know, completely immobile by tickling him. So, yes! Is Nico Robin part of CP9? She was very briefly against her own will, not something she actually wanted to do, something she did to try to protect the Straw Hats, but she is no longer a member of Cypher Pole 9, and she was even then more of just like a momentary member of the, it wasn't like they officially made her a member of CP9, they were basically just like, Blue and O was essentially like, you're Nico Robin, we're gonna bring you to Enies Lobby to be tried at, you know, the Tower of Law and all that stuff. Before we do that, though, you're gonna help us assassinate Iceberg, and then we're gonna leave the town, and then you're gonna go to Enies Lobby, and then you're gonna be tried and convicted, and probably thrown in, impelled down, or be executed. You have no say in the matter. You're gonna help us out with this. So it was more like she wasn't an official member of CP9. It's like she was forced into helping them. That's what basically happened. Is Nico Robin Miss All Sunday? Yes, she is. That was her code name when she was a member of Baroque Works. Doesn't really use it much anymore. Who knows, though? Maybe at some point in the story when Robin is sneaking around and, you know, she doesn't want anybody to know her real name, she might, oh, I'm Miss All Sunday. Be like, oh, okay. And she, like, uses the name again for a covert operation, but probably will never get brought up again. Is Nico Robin a traitor? No! Why are so many people... Look at this face! She's adorable! She has something... No, not adorable. She's not cute or adorable. She has grace. She's not best girl. She's best woman, okay? She is a very graceful woman, and how dare you claim that she is a traitor and a bad or an evil person? How dare you? She's not evil. How dare? Is Nico Robin strong? Once again, see as above. Alright, so those are the Google autocomplete answers for this round. I often underestimate how long it takes to get through this video, because we're already 40 minutes into this. I have to cut some stuff out, obviously, but yeah. How about we tackle the remaining Straw Hats in the next video? We'll tackle Usopp, Sanji, Frankie, Brook, and Chopper. That sounds about good. That'll also probably be a long video in that regard, too. Maybe Jinbei, if we have some time. Alright, so thanks for watching, everybody. Google Autocomplete One Piece Part 2, and see you back here for Part 3. Tekking, signing out.